All right, let's continue on. These two problems right here, you will need to factor, so that means that's the opposite of what distributive property is. So you need to take a look at your terms right here first. Well, actually, no, it's okay. Let's take a look at 18, 9, and 12 and figure out what the greatest common factor between those three are going to be, and it is actually 3. So now you're going to divide 3 with every single one of these terms. Negative 18f divided by 3 is going to get you negative 6f. Minus, because I'm just going to keep the minus here, 9g divided by 3 is negative 3g, plus 12 divided by 3 is going to get you 4. Over here, same deal between 32, 24, 16, and 8. You want to figure out what the greatest common factor between those 4 are going to be, and that is going to be 8. If you started off with a lower number like 4 or 2, it technically does work, but then that's not the greatest common factor that you can have. So 32 divided by 8 is going to equal to 4. 24x divided by 8 is going to be 3x. 16y divided by 8 is 2y. And 8z divided by 8 is just z. All right, so these are the problems that you will see on your extra credit on your test. You don't have to do them, but it is important that you guys do know how to solve a problem like this. So the very first thing that I'm going to do for a problem like this is I'm going to change all of my subtractions into an addition by doing the additive inverse. So I'm going to have 6 and 1/3 x. Change this to a plus. That means you got to change this number to its opposite, 3 and 2/3 here. I have 1/2. This, change it into a plus, and that's going to be a negative 3/4 x. All right, so far, so good. Next thing is that I'm going to change all of my mixed numbers into an improper fraction. 16 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19 over 3x plus a negative 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11 over 3. Everything in here stays the same. What is now going to happen is that you need to take this and distribute into everything inside. So I'm going to skip some steps right now, but I'm going to try to walk you through it. This 19 over 3 will stay the same. Now, a common mistake that I will see kids make is that they're going to do this first. They're going to try to subtract right here and then start distributing. You cannot do that. You need to start going through PEMDAS. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, and division, which is that, and then you can continue on. So roll it quick, plus, I'm going to multiply these two together. 11 times 1 is going to be 11. 3 times 2 is 6. Next, I want to distribute this over here. 11 times 3 is 33. And then 3 times 4 is going to be equal to 12. Drop the x over. Notice that because these two were negative, that means we have a positive solution here. Move all your x's together. Move all your regular numbers together. I have a 19 over 3x plus 33 over 12x plus a negative 11 over 6. Bracket, 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 bracket. This is why your brackets become quite important. It's because when you're dealing with rational numbers like this, notice that you only need to make sure that you have the same common denominator in this bracket, because in the end, you're not combining with this at all. This is already done. You don't need to do anything else to it. The only thing you need to do is to combine this together. So right now, between 3 and 12, the greatest or the least common denominator is going to be 12. So that means I'm going to multiply by 4 to create a fraction that has the same denominator. 19 times 4 is going to equal to 76 over 12x plus 33 over 12x. That's still in this bracket right here. And the negative 11 over 6 will stay on the side because we don't do anything to it. 76 plus 33 is going to get you 109 over 12x, and then just attach the negative 11 over 6, and you are done there. Don't worry about simplifying it. If you can get it down to this, I'll be happy with that. All right, over here, first thing, change all your subtractions into an addition by doing the additive inverse. I have 3/4 x plus a negative 7 over 10 x plus 5 3/5 x plus a negative 2x. A couple things that we need to do. Number one is that we need to change this 5 3/4 into an improper fraction, and we also need to change this negative 2x into a fraction as well. So I'm going to do that all in one step. 3/4 x plus negative 7 over 10x plus 5 times 5 is 25. 25 plus 3 is 28 over 5x plus, and this is going to become a negative 2 over 1x. It doesn't matter if your x is on the side of your fraction or if it's in the numerator of your fraction, as long as it is not in the denominator. All right, start noticing that we have an x here, x, and x. That means that we need to eventually combine all of this together. So that means between 4, 10, 5, and 1, we need to find the least common denominator between those four numbers, and it is going to be 20. So that means to change 4 into 20, multiply 5, multiply 5. To change 10 into 20, we got to multiply by 2, and then we got to multiply by 2 to up there. To change 5 into a 20, multiply 4, and to change 1 into 20 times 20 times 20. I need to rewrite this to create a new fraction, so I'm going to have 15 over 20x plus negative 14 over 20x plus 28 times 4 should be equal to 112 over 20x plus negative 40 over 20x. 15 plus negative 14 plus 112 plus negative 40 is going to equal to 73 over 20x. And we're good with those problems.